Hello humans, I have one question for you all. Are you broke? Being broke on GTA 5 is a common problem, especially when you're hoarding all that money to that rigged blackjack dealer who's living in your penthouse. I swear, if she gets 21 again, I'm gonna murder her cat. However, sometimes when we do make a quick million or two from a heist, we do want to get a bit spendy. Some people don't want to save up for the mansion, but instead spend their money the moment they finish the mission. If you're that type of person and still want to buy some cheap quality combat vehicles, then you've come to the right special guy. As the list goes on, it will get a tiny bit more expensive, but nothing over 2.5 million. This is also not including all the upgrades on said vehicle, and as well, these are the trade prices only. Are you ready? Because I'm not. Number 1, the Western Rogue. The Rogue is by far one of the most cheapest and best weaponized vehicles on the game, so let's forget about that sexy Rhino for a minute. Unless you're a fan of Pegasus vehicles, you freak. The Rogue is pretty flexible, and when later applied with the upgrades, it can be one of the best attacking aircrafts in the game. Explosive MG, homing missiles, cluster bombs, countermeasures, but unfortunately it doesn't come with that sexy pilot because that, folks, is myself. Obviously it's not going to win all the battles in the sky, but let me tell you now, you shite bag, for 1.2 million you're packing a fair bargain, and it's definitely a good starting point for beginners. Number 2, the Night Shark. Only 45k more, the Night Shark is just the best ground vehicle for beginners and even advanced players looking to counter other stupid players following them. The Night Shark will take a bazillion homing rockets before it's actually destroyed, and that right there is a lot of pounding. The weaponry that you're looking at are just machine guns, which to be fair can be pretty good for ground targets and others in weaker vehicles. You can throw sticky bombs out the window and not have to be extra cautious about the splash damage. And it even goes underwater. Okay, I was under the impression it was a Night Shark, but now I am heavily disappointed. Number 3, the Insurgent Pickup Custom. Very similar to the Night Shark, the Insurgent Pickup boasts because this too can take a pounding, but this is also a multiplayer friendly vehicle. Your body can just sit there in the back seat on the machine gun shooting down seagulls, while you can drive and drop bombs not giving a donkeys about what's behind you. But if you do have a bit of extra cash, definitely upgrade the Insurgent Pickup while you can. But all jokes aside, buying this already is a good start, and as much as I'm making jokes on this video, it really is one of the best defensive land vehicles in the game. Number 4, the Anti-Aircraft Trailer. This right here is an interesting piece of kit. For 1.4 million you can swat anything from the sky, even super flying seagulls. When you do have the flak cannon equipped, you can take out things pretty quickly. And while the Chernobog is pretty similar, I've excluded it from this list for being too damn chonky and looking like it's carrying a shedload of cigarettes. And you should definitely not be smoking. Unless you're smoking griefers, then that's different. The anti-aircraft trailer can take out very fast aircrafts, even those of the Raiju. You are a pretty open target, but if you go off the radar and use this, then you're practically a god. And if that makes you feel more powerful, then good for you. Number 5, the half-track. The half-track is ironically halfway through this list, and that joke wasn't actually intended, because the real joke here is the half-track itself. Although it being more pricey than the others doesn't mean it's better than the others. In fact, this vehicle is actually the worst on this list. But I didn't want to make this a top 9 video because that's just silly, and there is no room for childish behaviour on this channel. The half-track is good when you got somebody else with you, the armour will sustain for a while, but besides hunting down cows, there's nothing else really you can do in this. Number 6, the Thruster Jetpack. The Thruster is by far one of the best cheapest vehicles in the game. I've already talked about this way too much already this year, so I'll quickly go through it. This is one of the best free aiming machines for taking down ground targets, and it also won't get taken down by homing missiles if you keep flying straight. But hold on just a minute. Just because you fly straight does not mean the jetpack wants to be straight. It could be whatever it wants to be, and you have absolutely no reason to control that. Also, fun fact, did you know they actually teased the Thruster back in 2013, and we were just all too blind to see? See, look at this. Air thrusting. Get it? Air thruster. Thruster goes in the air. To be fair, that did sound a lot better in my head, but honestly, these jokes are getting drier than a camel's. Number 7, the Savage. This is by far the cheapest and most aggressive flying vehicle in the game. When you have a cannon like this, you're practically laughing. The defensive side does let it down, but that's the price you have to pay for flying a steroid chopper in the air and not asking any questions. Look at the power on that. It's like when you hold in your pee for a very long time and you finally go to the toilet. The Savage is an early edition vehicle. It came out in 2015 as part of the Heist update, and the reason it's so cheap is because back then making a buck was pretty hard. And luckily, even with all the price adjustments in the recent years, it's still pretty affordable. Number 8, the original Oppressor. Just because it's not the Oppressor Mark II doesn't mean you don't need to buy it. The Oppressor is not only only a fun vehicle to fly, but it's also just a good vehicle in itself. Although it does take a lot of skill to use if you're using it for combat. Without having any countermeasures, you are an easy target for homing missiles, but what you don't know is it can be an extremely flexible free aiming killing machine. Seriously, what a bike. If your mates ever say don't buy this vehicle, don't listen to them, because realistically they're just not your friends. Number 9, the Invade and Persuade tank. The Invade and Persuade tank, aka the RC tank, is actually one of the safest combat vehicles on the website because you literally can't die when you're inside it. The weaponry isn't super exotic, but when you're off the map for an infinite amount of time, it does make you wonder, can I just go off the map in real life? The defense is poor if you get one shot by an EMP launcher, but once you look past that and start looking in the other direction... Oh, hello there. It can be used to escape many forms of combat and keeping yourself safe from pesky low-life griefers. And finally, number 10, the APC. The APC is by far my most favourite on this list, and considering the price is only 2.3 million, it does make you think, wow, that's incredibly cheap, let me go and ask my mom if I could buy a shark card. And in more ways than one, it's almost as good as the Khanjali tank. And no, I'm not even kidding. People often favour the Khanjali tank because it has better curves and just looks sexier. But the real gold of these biscuit tins lies right here inside the tank. The APC can float on water and shoot missiles faster than you can say a proper cup of coffee pot, and try and saying that when you're drunk. Well guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that like button because it does help me out so massively. Also, a channel update, I am going away for almost 2 weeks, and if I have the time, I will try and pre-make a batch of content for you all to feast on. Life has been busy for me lately, but you'll definitely see me at least once a week, so yeah, actually that doesn't sound that pleasant, does it? But either way, I'll see you again, you legends. Thank you.